Sometimes mere improvement can be the detriment to the actual inheriting and obtaining of a promise. This Berry Fellowship 10-minute Torah, day number 4, the double Torah portion, Matot tribes and Masei journeys. Let's go to Numbers, Bamidbar, chapter number 32, and read the first 7 verses. And the children of Reuben, the children of Gad, had much livestock, a large number. And they saw the land of Yazir and the land of Gilad, and saw that the place was a place for livestock. So the children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spoke to Moshe and to Eleazar the priest and to the leaders of the congregation, saying, Ataroth and Divan and Yazir and Nimrah and Heshbon and El-Aleh and Sibon and Nebo and Beon, the land which Yahweh has stricken before the congregation of Israel is a land for livestock, and your servants have livestock. And they said, If we have found favor in your eyes, let this land be given to your servants as a possession, and do not let us pass over the Jordan. Moshe said to the children of Gad and children of Reuben, Are your brothers to go into battle while you yourselves sit here? Now why do you discourage the heart of the children of Israel from passing over into the land which Yahweh has given them? The question has to be asked. Did Reuben and Gad intend all along, no, we'll go over and help you obtain your land, but we want this land when we get finished with the fighting? Or were they going to be content to say, we're just going to stay here and build our kingdom right here on this side of the Jordan, because I can't imagine that it would be any better anywhere else on the other side of the river? So were they or were they not going to help their brothers? The other question is, how could they not see that they were falling short of what Yah had for them? As I just said, they might not have been able to imagine that there would be better land than what they already were sitting on for livestock. But then again, they'd not seen the land on the other side of the river. Not seeing what's on the other side. How often have we been praying for a promise, praying for a healing, for example, and you get the feeling better? Maybe the swelling of the joints goes down and the stamina is increased, and maybe the energy level is better than it was. The pain is reduced, and you get to a place where you're thinking, this is better. I'm better. I feel better. And in our mind, we begin to leave off the pursuit where we're saying to ourselves, I could live like this. The question then would be, were you praying for complete healing or improvement? When things get better, sometimes the mere improvement will leave us without a desire to go any further. Rav Shaul says that we run to obtain the prize, and we set our affections or our gaze, our sights on the prize that is before us. He said at his death, I have run this race with patience. He patiently endured to get to the end goal of what he was seeking for. What if Yeshua had hung on the cross, on the tree, bled profusely, suffered the whipping, took the beating, and almost died? But then somewhere short of the actual giving up of his life, maybe he hung on the tree for 3 hours, from 9 a.m. to say noon. And then he said, you know what, I've had enough of this. Father, send forth the legions of angels and rescue me. I've done all I can do, and I'm done all I'm willing to do. Things will be better now that at least this much blood has been shed. Yeshua didn't stop short, and neither should we. Our adversary wants to wear us out with the struggle, with the fight, with the call to endurance and perseverance. And too often, we're willing to take him up on the offer, thinking that, well, it's just, at least it's going to be better than it was. But there's a problem. When Reuben and Gad, and ultimately half of the tribe of Manasseh, end up on the wrong side of the river, what they have done is re-identified themselves not as those that are encamped in the proper land of Eretz Israel, the land of promise, but on the border of it. So they become the border people. What they also become are those that are further estranged from the house of the Most High. Whereas those that are living within the called boundaries that Yah has destined for them, and His house is in the midst of them, there is a level of guard and protection for them that may not be available on the outskirts and across the line of the border. So they based their choice on what seemed to be best for themselves rather than what is best for the nation. And until Moshe begins to point out their selfish intentions and perspective, it very well could be that they were going to settle down and build their homes and their stockyards and their storehouses and say, y'all go fight the battles, we're done. Now, they did go over. They did make sure that the other tribes had entered into their inheritance before they came home. But in that interim, then, they had sons and daughters that were growing up without dad there to influence them. I personally, I don't know exactly how long the campaigns lasted, but it was an extended period of time. We don't understand the cost of selling out short. I believe that Yah is looking for a people who will say to Him and to one another, nothing short of the kingdom is worth settling for. The kingdom will not be centered in the United States. That may be a shock to someone, and it may be a little disappointing to someone else. But the reality is, according to the scriptures, the kingdom is not going to be found in the grand old land of America. And not even in this hemisphere. It is going to be in the ancient land of Eretz Israel, the land of Israel. And it will be situated between the boundaries and the borders that Yah has already decreed to Abraham. Now, that does not mean that our nation and other nations around the earth will not be under the influence and the benefit of the kingdom. It's just that, Yeshua is not coming here to live and reign. I've traveled throughout the United States to some small measure, and I've seen some very beautiful places. I've looked down upon the landscape from the window of a jet airline going across, and I've seen some things that's like, wow, that's pretty impressive. As beautiful as this land is, as beautiful as the state of Virginia is for that matter, and I just drove all the way across it last week. It's a gorgeous land. It's a beautiful place to look at. It's not Israel. I've been to Israel. But it's not the beauty of the land, and it is indeed a beautiful place. It's not even the special nature of the people that are there, and they are indeed very special people. It's not just the thrill of the travel and coming upon a place of a different language and culture and walking on the ancient grounds. It's not even that. It's the fact that the land is the promise. It's what Yah says, this is what I want from my people. And it's the fact that Yah says, my kingdom will be centered here. And it is the fact that Yeshua will live and reign there. That's why the land of Israel is special. And that's why that the people who are there holding in trust that land until the advent of the kingdom are special. And that's one of the reasons that you need to do whatever you need to do to go ahead and go and visit that land. In anticipation that we are one day going to be centered from there, whether we are assigned to live there or not. Don't sell out short, cheap, and sell out for less than what Yah wants for you to have. Hold on Persevere and overcome until you get the full measure of what you're believing for. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, shalom.